Hi, this is Jan from the Vexcel Stream team. I'm joined here today by Pascal Stucki from TOPOFLIGHT. Welcome. We're here to discuss the latest release of their software. Maybe you can start by telling me what was the core problem you wanted to resolve in this latest release?
TOPOFLIGHT is now 20 years in the market with Mission Planner for the planning software and NAVIGATOR for the flight management system.
Right.
In this time we see that projects got greater, larger. With the 2026 release, we want to make it easier for sensor operators to manage such large projects. We have now the concept of missions, that's a part of a project. To create such a mission is very straightforward. You have to define a name for this mission in Mission Planner, then you just assign the flight lines or even just a part of a single flight line to this mission. And yeah, how can this be useful for your customers? Maybe they have a great project they want to split into different geographical sections, like you can create a mission for the southern part, for the western part and the eastern part. Or maybe you have two aircrafts in the air at the same time. So you can define a mission for the aircraft one and another mission for the second aircraft. And then you just have to say to the pilots which mission they have to fly today. There's also a possibility that you create for each day a new mission with the remaining part of the project.
So tell me, what advantages does this new TFX file bring to the continuity in the workflow?
We introduced a new file with the ending TFX for top-of-flight exchange. Okay. It's basically an export function in NAVIGATOR and then also an import function in Mission Planner to make this exchange of files very straightforward.
Right. What would this look like in a typical customer project now?
So let's imagine this fictional project here. There are two missions that are flown by an individual aircraft. There is the mission Flatland and there is the mission Mountain.
Right.
The Mountain mission is flown entirely successful. However, the first mission, the mission Flatland, there was an error in the middle of a flight line and the crew has to cancel this flight. So in the evening, they both sent their TFX files to the back office, and now the operator in the office is aware of all those changes. It sees that a flight was not completely mapped and can mark the entire line to be reflown the next day. The back office will create its own TFX file and loads them back to the aircrafts. The first aircraft sees now a new mission completion that has to be flown this day, and the second aircraft sees it as solved, that they are good and no more flights are required. So then the final part would be that the first aircraft flies those remaining 5 to 7 flight lines this day.
Pascal, what is the most impactful improvement in the post-flight QC, and how does this help to avoid costly reflights?
In the mission planning part, we have already the quality control maps that are raster layers where you have what GST or side lap, forward overlap or other metrics. And we now introduced those functions to create this in post-flight, based on IMU and GNSS positions. So you have this option, and there are also other tools that you can check the accuracy of your flight. We have introduced histogram charts where you see the range of your deviations or sun angles as an example. And we have also introduced to show vectors like the 2D vector or the height deviation that shows you how is it planned compared to what was actually flown. Is there a shift or were the pilot always straight online?
Right. Where would you say in all this is the biggest cost and time savings for customers in real life operations?
There are two advantages for your customers. First of all, there is straightforward communication. You can name what needs to be flown by identification of the mission name and not the line numbers. And also you have with the quality controls a first glimpse on how accurate the flight was. You can do the refly while flying the project and not afterwards.
Okay, cool. So in your own words and eyes, what would you say is the biggest new feature in the Navigator that will excite our customers the most?
Also, Navigator got a huge update. Although most of the features are below the surface, there are also two features that are really interesting. You now have the option to define a capture mode. Right. There are three options to this capture mode. There is the all image positions, the just not successful images, or to clip a flight line. Okay. Yeah, let's imagine we have a flight line, and in the middle of this flight line there was clouds, or there was an error, and you have to refly just this part. Right. With the last version, you selected the flight line and you looked for this gap, and you entered the flight line, and after it you go away afterwards. Every image that you have passed would have been triggered. Right. That would compare to the all images option. With the not successful option, only those images get triggered that actually are marked to refly or have a warning state. With the third option, to clip a flight line, you would select the flight line and the flight line gets clipped to just the part. So the pilot and the operator can head straight to the beginning of this section and does not have to look for the first image in this flight line. The second feature is the UI improvement. We have now the option to select projects and also missions directly from the project panel, and it has now some charts that shows you the progress of the mission, and it looks really good. Cool. Compared to the previous version.
Very good, very good. So maybe that's the advertising in the end anyway already. But if you put it in your own words, as a last question, what's the main reason for our customers to upgrade to the 2026 version of Mission Planner and Navigator?
So we highly recommend to keep on the latest versions. The version 2026 is free of charge if you are under paid maintenance. If you're not and you would like to test this version before you buy the upgrade, we can provide trial licenses. Contact Vexcel support. They have those licenses, and make your own impression of the new release.
Very good, very good. If there are any further questions, please contact the Vexcel sales team or our support team. Pascal, thank you very much. Really enjoyed the session, very insightful, so thanks a lot.
Thank you.